You know, I gotta say, I feel like I should be happier than I am right now. Like, it's over. It's finally over. But I'm just feeling kind of drained.
Yeah, I can feel that.
It's exhausting, this show.
Yeah, no, it's...
Yeah, fuck this show.
It's terrible.
It's really bad.
So, on that note, welcome, everyone, to episode 49.
Whoa!
Of A Star to Steer Her By. We're finally done with the animated series.
I expected it to be bad, but I don't know if I expected this.
This has just been painful.
Guys, it won awards. That show won awards.
Oh, I got things to say on that.
It was the 70s. Shit was weird. Nixon was president. You know.
Dogs and cats living together.
Mass hysteria.
Yeah.
I'm Chris, and joining me today are...
Ames.
Caitlin.
And Jake.
Today we watched How Sharper Than a Serpent's Tooth and the Counterclock Incident. In How Sharper Than a Serpent's Tooth, a spaceship shows up, and it makes itself look like a winged serpent, because it turns out this wacky alien came to Earth and revealed himself to various cultures, and they started to build stuff based on his instructions. But since none of them built it exactly like he wanted, he never got their "we did it" signal, and so he never came back. And so now he's like, I'm going to come back and see what happened. And he's all, oh man, I don't like the culture that developed. I'm going to take it out on the Enterprise. And he kidnaps some people, one of whom is apparently a Native American. And I'm sure it's racist somehow, but like I said before, unfortunately, I don't know enough about Native Americans to know how racist it was. But I'm pretty sure it was racist. And then they're like, look, dude, it's great that you want to like help us. Yes, I wasn't even going to try to pronounce it because it would just be too insulting. And they're like, dude, look, like, you helped us when we were, like, but children. But now we're kind of not, and we wouldn't be able to deal with being watched over so closely. And he's like, all right. And they leave.
Don't forget, like, there were critters.
He had a menagerie, and they were all existing in mental spaces that were different than the cages they were in. Doesn't that sound familiar?
Chris, chill.
No. I'm
Chill.
so sad.
Don't be angry at the listeners.
In the other one, the Counterclock Incident, the Enterprise is bringing Captain Robert April, the original captain of the Enterprise, and his wife to his happy 75th birthday / mandatory retirement ceremony on Babel. But on the way, they get sucked into an alternate dimension where everything's backwards, including time. And they eventually have to like find a way back to their own universe because they're all aging backwards. But even though most of the episode makes it seem like, yeah, they age backwards, but at like a normal rate, all of a sudden at the end they're rapidly aging backwards. It's terrible.
Everyone's babies.
Yeah.
Everyone is somehow babies and the same age baby.
Yeah, there's a little Eric's baby. It's borderline cute.
Who's got that going for it?
Yeah, aside from that, it was just fucking abysmal. It was so bad, guys. Like this whole show. So yeah, needless to say, they get back to real space, and transporters are magic, so it re-ages everyone. Also, Robert April and his wife decide, yeah, let's be old, even though we could be young again, and I don't know. Yeah.
Alright, well, let's have lively discussion, because Chris is asleep.
I'm just... Ugh.
Chris has been hurt by the animated series.
Okay, you're gonna be more hurt right now, because How Sharper Than a Serpent's Tooth, which we agreed was terrible, won the Daytime Emmy for Outstanding Children's Series.
Well, Daytime Emmys don't count. Right? Isn't that the joke? Like, Daytime Emmys matter even less than regular Emmys, which barely count or something?
Do Emmys barely count?
We don't have any Emmys.
I don't know.
Where's our Emmy?
Yeah, seriously.
I was only nominated.
There's also... this is something I learned not too long ago.
How?
There's also, like, regional Emmys.
Yeah.
So, like...
And maybe in Montana. This
like, so you can... So
winning.
there's, like... You can be like, oh, you know, people win Emmys for, like, public access TV.
Oh my god, let's start a public access TV show. I bet we could win a regional Emmy.
Yeah, let's do it. Outstanding Star Trek watching...
No, this is already the podcast. I think the TV show has to be, like... Oh, I know. You and Caitlin can review fisting porn. But like, since it's public access, you can't show clips. You just have to talk about it. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd let us talk about fisting porn on
Well, you
public
can
access television.
use euphemisms and code words.
Oh.
Like
But everyone in the know will
fisting
know what's
and
going on.
asshole
Yeah.
and porn.
A
They'll
daytime
never
Emmy,
see
though,
through
that's-
it.
Wow. That's wow. Like I said, it was the 70s, though. I mean, what else was on?
I don't know, and this was children's series, so
Well,
I don't know
but
what it was
except-
up against.
Shouldn't Sesame Street have just won, like, every year? It existed by the 70s, right?
Yeah.
Ugh.
But yeah, no, that so that Serpent Tooth thing,
Cuckoldcon.
Cuckoldcon,
Or Cuckoldcon? What was it?
I don't
I know that Kirk was pronouncing it different from everybody else because he had a different recording session from the rest of the cast.
Oh.
And he didn't get the instruction on how to pronounce a thing. So
Of
while
course
everyone
not,
else
'cause
was
why would
saying,
you do that?
No, he probably did. He just ignored it.
Why would
Yeah.
you teach the actors how to say the words?
Well, they already knew
he was
from
in
the-
New York and everyone else was at the studio or some shit.
They knew from the sabotage incident, you don't correct him, it sickens him.
I actually heard a recording of him recently where a guy was like trying to give him line readings, and
Oh, and he flipped out.
he was like, "No, I want you to read the second page. I want to do what you want me to do."
I remember hearing.
Have you heard that? It's
yeah.
hilarious. They played it on Howard Stern or something, and I saw the clip.
Well,
on
you know,
YouTube.
being fair, it's one thing to tell someone how to pronounce a word, but like, you don't give people line readings, you direct them. If your only way of directing is giving someone a read, you're a bad director.
Oh yeah, I know. I don't really disagree with him being unhappy about it. It was just he didn't even really ever like raise his voice. It's just like the guy was like, "No, I'm really sorry. Like I'm sure you'll do it right." And he's like, "No, I insist. You want it to be the way you want it."
Yeah, I mean, I hate to agree with Shatner when he's being kind of a prick, but I've definitely had directors who, like, don't actually know how to direct or just say it like this, and I wanted to fucking strangle them. So, I give him props for his restraint, even if he has become a dickhead on Twitter.
Oh, he probably killed them all directly after the recording stopped. Yeah, what? I was trying to remember what he did on Twitter recently.
He's been going on about SJW snowflakes and misandry. He's one of those now.
Good for him.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, yeah.
I mean, of course he is. He's old.
Yeah. Walking Bear said he was, what sort of Native American? I can't remember.
He said he was a Comanche.
Now, that's like a tribe in what is now the United States, right?
I believe so.
But he was like, I've
But don't quote
studied
me
up
on that.
on ancient Earth culture, especially my own.
Here's some info on the Mayans and Aztecs.
We're all Indians.
Yeah, like that's what it was. It was like, wow, so you at first sort of half acknowledge that there's distinct types, but then you're like, whatever, it's all the same thing. A Comanche. Like,
They all have the same myths in one way, shape, or
Right.
form. Granted, most religions do. Everybody's got a fucking flood myth. Everybody.
True, but it's one thing to,
That's
you
because
know.
there was a great global flood. That's why everyone's got the same myth.
Well, yeah, it was,
we call it climate change.
yeah. Damn it, I was going to make a joke about
Oh, I beat you, sorry.
that. Bastard. And
Yeah.
yeah, then it was just like, I think Jake, you said it just was Apollo again,
Yeah.
basically,
Well,
but
on
less
both-
sexy.
On both of those items, the writer wanted it to be like that. Like the writer Russell Bates, I guess DC Fontana requested of him specifically because he himself has Native American. I think he said it was a full-blooded Native American of some kind. Yeah, he's a full-blooded Kiowa Indian. And DC Fontana said, do something with Native Americans, and he gave her this and said, how about this? And he specifically made it in Who Mourns for Adonais land because Gene Kuhn had recently died and he wanted it to be in his honor. And Gene Kuhn was the one who wrote and I think produced Who Mourns for Adonais.
And he came up with this piece of shit to honor him?
I know it's sad. Because Gene Kuhn was really good.
Yeah. Now I'm depressed.
Yeah.
It's like the television equivalent of taking a dump on his grave.
Are you serious?
Ouch.
There was an electric cat.
The electric cat kind of helped a bit. Because the electric cat was cute.
Continuing
No, the cute one was that yellow one.
The yellow cat was cute.
That
Oh,
was like-
aren't you a friendly wee beastie?
Like, because Scotty was being, I was waiting for there to be a twist and it was gonna, like, claw at him or something. No, it was just, Scotty stole that cat.
He likes cat. He liked all the animals.
He couldn't imagine keeping them in cages.
Yeah. Good for Scotty.
I want to know who
Scotty joins PETA.
on the crew of this show was just obsessed with cats.
There were so many.
So many, like every alien species was
Three
a cat.
different cat species by the end.
Just 3?
I thought we'd get so much more of Maress throughout the series.
Yeah, I
thought
feel
so,
like
too.
I feel like she talked like thrice.
Well, three, like, intelligent cat species.
Yeah.
Maress, the creepy one with the voice-activated computer.
Yep.
And the Kazinti.
Yeah.
Okay.
And was This one... Wait, which one was the voice-activated computer?
That was in the Jihad.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, that's the Jihad one,
The alien cat species that talk perfectly normal, but then to activate their computer,
Oh, that's
they're like,
right.
and it was always
They just
horrifying.
speak cat, because the computer can't understand English. Only cat.
Yeah.
Right.
I was actually, it's funny you're talking about Marissa. I was reading up on her and Eric's recently to see what, if anything, happened with them in the expanded universe.
If there's a half Eric's, half Maress creature out there right now?
Nope.
Thank God.
They apparently, both separately, mind, wound up chronally displaced. So they...
Independently.
Yeah,
Interesting.
not in the same incident. Two separate incidents. Not only they both, in separate incidents, wound up chronally displaced, they both wound up at the same time and have been popping up in the New Frontier novels.
You know what it might have been?
Weird.
Must have been a weeping angel.
Yep.
So yes, they've been granted new life in the novels for some reason.
Now, I didn't notice, but was Majel Barrett in either of these 2 episodes? I don't think she was.
Nichelle Nichols was doing the extra
Yeah.
lady voices.
Yeah, you're right.
certainly in Backwards Clocks, whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah, no, I guess she wasn't. She bailed by then. She was like, nah, I know this ship is sinking.
But did she bail?
No, I don't know.
Oh, I was like, wow.
I have to
She
say,
wasn't Carla 5 in Counterclock?
What's Carla 5?
No, I think...
Carla 5 was the pilot of the Backwards show.
No, that
Oh.
was Nichelle Nichols,
That was
too.
Nichelle
was it?
Nichols? Okay.
Yeah, no. At least it sounded like her.
Yeah, no, both of the other women in that episode were Nichelle Nichols, both the wife and the other alien lady from Errata or whatever the fuck.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tear up backwards. Yeah, but in How Sharper Than a Serpent's Tooth, of course, we have Doohan doing a Native American voice somehow.
What is he doing?
He was doing his best.
Which, again, was just like his Eric's voice, but less squeaky.
Yeah, apparently the writer, like, he asked the writer, oh, how old is Walking Bear supposed to be? And what's very sad to me is on, like, I think it was on Memory Alpha, I was reading this, that the writer of the episode says, oh, and then I told him he'd be, like, between 20 and 25, and then Doohan just became 20 to 25 and did the voice of the right age. And I was reading this, and now that I've seen the episode, I think, what? No, what? What was that voice?
It was just doing
It was
voice.
just nerd voice.
No, it was Eric's, but without the, like, sort of half-computerized element he would give it.
Yeah.
Like, if this is normally Eric's, then this was Walking Bear.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Doohan really was a wizard with those pipes.
He did some wizarding! Oh, Doohan. I'm sorry, honey.
He wasn't, he got paid.
Yeah, he sure
And
did.
his fucking remains got, shot into space, which is fucking badass as fuck, so...
Yeah, but
Doohan's alright.
Some of his remains. There's more around.
Well, I think...
he asked for some to be thrown in Shatner's face.
No, they made up afterwards. They
Did
made
they?
up
Okay.
between I guess the movies or whatever and before he died, because I read recently that when Doohan had like Alzheimer's, which sucks.
Yeah.
That's okay. That I'm sorry for. That Shatner would come and like hang out on his bedside and be a buddy about it.
Yeah, that's...
Shatner was like, no, remember? We made up.
Oh no!
I apologize for being
Poor
a cock all those
taste.
years.
I know.
Except it does kind of sound like something he'd do.
I don't know. I
I'm
don't
sorry,
know him well
James
enough to
Doohan.
say that.
I'm sorry, James Doohan. I don't mean anything by it.
We do mean to criticize your voice acting in this series.
We
'cause
do.
Come on, man.
We do.
But hey, you know what?
That's when you get like a couple, some other professional voice actor who will work for much cheaper than you, I'm sure.
I mean, I'm not even joking when I say this. Mel Blanc really needed money in the 70s. That's why he was Tweaky in the Buck Rogers TV show.
DVD.
I mean,
Damn.
Yo,
yeah,
why
like,
aren't we doing a Buck Rogers podcast?
honestly, after this fucking show, that would be a fucking joy.
Well, we got better stuff in the future pipeline.
I know.
Very soon.
So yeah, the little city he showed them, as I said during the episode, the world's shittiest escape room.
Yeah. It's like a big, what do you call it? Like a... Yeah, it was basically a puzzle box of a room in like what's essentially a holodeck.
But there was only one puzzle, and it was kind of obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was literally like something from a Zelda game.
Yeah.
Turn all the statues to look at the center.
Well, it's like, it's from,
Zelda games are harder.
I was saying, it's from an early like tutorial dungeon, no
Right.
less. And then I don't know. It was like you didn't do exactly what I wanted as a species. Well, you should have left better blueprints or something, dude.
I know. What was the rationality? Like, oh, he left some of his plan with each race? Did he expect all the races of different times to get together and do
I
it?
think the implication is like each race kind of
Did half of it?
clung on to one aspect of his teachings instead of all of them. That's why, like, you had the Egyptian-style obelisks, but with Mayan writing, and you had a gateway that looked sort of like Hollywood Chinese, but with, like, other stuff on it. And
that's
it
just
was not
chaotic.
imparted well, because, again, the animation is fucking dreck.
Yeah, the motivation of Cuckle Khan was very strange.
Yeah, I didn't. He was just grumpy. It was like, you're so lonely, dude. Just, now that you know there's spacefaring species, go make friends with them directly. Be like, hi!
Maybe
I know.
he's an introvert.
What the fuck has he been doing all
He's
this
had a
time?
lot of cats.
He's
a
just
snake
pissed.
monster.
He's just pissed at Earth. He says, "Oh, why do you hate me?" And they're like,
We
"What?
don't.
We don't
What
even
are
think
you
about
talking
you, buddy.
about?"
Yeah, that's almost worse. Like, yeah, we kind of relegated you to the land of myth. Sorry. Oh, by the way, Mr. Spock, you know what? Both of these episodes, Mr. Spock can get fucked.
He was a dick.
Because Kirk in this one is like, tell me, Mr. Spock, are there any myths of aliens visiting Vulcan? It's like, no, Captain. Not myths. Fact. Aliens did visit Vulcan. They left much more intelligent or something, or like much enlightened or
Wiser.
wise. Yeah, they left much wiser. And then the next one, he's just a prick to Uhura for like no reason.
That's the same one.
Yeah.
That's still.
Oh, it is this one, isn't it? Yeah. So like, I don't
Yeah,
know
and the
what
other one, Spock is aging backwards.
Right. So yeah, I guess he's fine. But yeah, in this one, he's just like being an asshole for like no.
What
reason.
did he? Why was he nasty? I don't even remember him being nasty to Uhura.
Yeah, no. At one point,
Uhura was like, "Oh, I'm worried about the captain because he and three other guys were captured by this fucking flying snake lizard."
He's like, do
Wing.
your fucking job, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Jesus.
wow.
But we don't care about them right now. We just have to do this.
Wow, Spock fucking...
Well, that's not unusual for what we've seen of him when he takes command.
That's
He
true.
doesn't have
Whenever
a
he
good
takes
bedside
command,
manner.
He's a jackass, everybody.
But I mean, he wasn't even like, there wasn't even like a, we must focus on ourselves if we are to save them in the first place. It was just like,
Well, maybe since the original series ended, Spock has decided he does like the idea of the captaincy.
Maybe.
I hope not. He's shit at it.
Not as shit as this series was at being good.
He's pretty shit.
All right, the other one, that stupid clock show.
Stupid clock show.
So the biggest problem, obviously, was, like I said in the intro, is like, oh yeah, no, we're aging backwards. But at first, there's nothing really obviously happening. So, okay, they're aging backwards, but still at the rate of, like
Normal
a minute
time
is still a
passage.
minute. It's
Yeah.
just, but then all of a sudden, it's like, oh wait, a bunch of us are getting younger super fast, and we're all gonna be
It's going
babies.
to be
and
18 minutes before someone winks out of existence.
yeah, and it's like, wait, when did this? Even if they just have a throwaway line about, like, due to their warp acceleration, it's causing flibberty jibbities with the bippity boppities and the hoodly whatsits.
Yeah,
but they didn't do
warp,
that.
Yeah, the warp would be like something to sort of factor in. But yeah, I feel like people in retrospect tried to say, oh yeah, it's because in normal time, if you go faster at warp, you age slower. But if you're going in mirror land, it's backwards. Something stupid.
Yeah.
So stupid.
And the whole,
Oh, poor Chris. Chris is broken.
again, I should be happier. This should be a time of joy and celebration, and instead the whole weight of all of this has just finally crushed me.
How did the counterclock episode end?
They got back to normal space, and
But
they
how?
used
The magic transporter.
Yeah, they used the transporter to
Well, yeah,
age everybody
alright.
back
Yeah, they
up.
flew.
But how did they get
flew
back to their own-
They created a new star in the backwards universe.
Didn't explain how they did that.
So that they could have the alignment, because in order to create the portal, there needed to be
A star becoming a nova on both sides in the same
Right.
place. I caught
So they did that by creating a star,
Where one was supernova in the other galaxy.
right, in their universe. And then they
Good for them.
got the girls' ship to drag them in at warp 4000, and then
Yeah, I was troubled by the fact that the girl's ship was going so fucking fast.
Yeah.
Like they said it was going like warp 35 or some stupid high
And they
number.
still had plenty of time to duck out of its way.
Exactly. Yeah, they still have plenty of time to like have it show up on their scanners. They have time to go and fucking tractor it and chase it around.
They go
It's
and
like,
have some
it's
breakfast.
It's going because warp is supposed to be not just a factor greater. It's
You know, it's-
exponentially fast.
Yeah, it's like
It's
it's
logarithmic.
yeah.
And Also, as we know, I mean, they should have turned into lizards way before that.
I'm looking forward for that episode for some reason.
Why?
Because lizards.
Wasn't that one actually declared, like, fake at some point? Didn't they actually strip it from canon?
Probably.
Can you do... No, you can't do that with actual episodes.
I mean, for a while, this whole series wasn't canon.
Also, why is 75 years old the mandatory retirement age for the Federation?
Fucking old, dude.
Well, especially because, like...
Yeah, but they live to 150 now.
Well, see, so at this point, they hadn't quite established how long people lived.
And Vulcans live 3 times as long.
But beyond that, also, like, alright, so, like, in the 70s, retirement age is still mid-50s. But it's the future, so tack on a couple decades.
They just told this dude that he had to retire. They just made up.
They're going to let him loose on a farm to chase bunnies?
They were actually going to fire him, but they wanted to be nice.
Yeah. Apparently first captain of the Enterprise.
And apparently his wife was the first medical officer on a warp-capable ship.
News to,
Phlox.
Yeah.
And whoever was on ships before Phlox.
If I may steal your shtick for a minute to represent not what I actually believe. I think it was just a stupid line. But like what someone might try to counter with is like, well, as you know, Phlox was never officially part of Starfleet. Maybe she was the first Starfleet doctor.
You a
and all
lizard
others had been
person now?
civilians. Yeah, sure. Personally, I think it was
It is
stupid.
really lizardy what he does with his mouth, isn't it?
Whoa!
I do think, though, it was like just like the Bonaventure. It was just a dumb thing they didn't think
Bony
through.
Venture?
Boner Venture.
Yes, we
Bonnie
covered
Bear?
this.
Yes, we have. But yeah, no, I think it was just stupid writing on a bad show.
Yes, exactly. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was stupid writing, bad show, magic transporters.
Dogs and cats living together.
It's like
Our brains are working in reverse.
It's the ultimate TAS episode, really.
Because it is.
Yeah. No. I see what you did there.
Yeah, they basically took the deadly years and put it in reverse, but since I also hated the deadly years, this was still silly.
Deadly years
Although
are
we
terrible.
still had people who were into old folks. Because, what's her fucking name? Sarah April and Robert April have the chance to be young again, and they choose not to, and it's clearly because they have an old person fetish.
No, it's because their lives had fulfilled them.
But her
Old
flower
person fetish.
blossomed again.
Ew,
For
don't
the
say
first
that.
time in decades.
That's disgusting.
Symbologyism.
So we've agreed that that's the part that stayed young, right?
And both these
vagina?
episodes had
Ugh.
quite a bit of vaginal shit going on because you had
Wilty Flowers.
Questcoatl's spaceship that looked like
Yeah, it looked like the
female
tubes
reproductive
and-
system, and then you had what's her face going on about her blooming flower the whole time.
It's wilting.
Oh, look, it's back in full bloom.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's a little saggy these days.
Oh.
I'm calling this episode the Vagina Monologues.
Oh.
I probably won't, don't worry.
Good.
Probably.
All right, should we do our top fives and bottom fives?
Oh,
Let's
God.
do it.
If we do, does that mean we can stop this episode?
And
That's what
by,
I'm
and by
hoping.
top 5, bottom
That's why
5,
I'm just
Go
trying to
drink
drive
heavily.
This, I'm driving this thing
we
forward.
mean bottom 5 and then another 5.
At least. Like, the ones we really hated and the ones we could almost tolerate.
I'm looking at this list and I'm like, which one of these was my bottom? Because I didn't actually label bottom to top.
Now, I remember when we did our top and bottom 5s for TOS, we started with bottom and ended with top so we could end on a high note.
Correct. But we gotta do it the other way.
Yes,
Because
yes.
we just have to end it with tearing this fucking
And
thing
also
to pieces.
because we're in the reverse time universe.
I hope the listeners will be able to understand us.
I
They
can-
may be speaking backwards right now.
I can feel us growing younger.
Pretty good.
It started out good. It got
Yeah.
stupid at the
It
end.
did get stupid at the end,
At the
but it
beginning, it
started
was
out.
really good.
That lizard mouth.
I'd take going younger. I'd like my hair back.
That lizard.
All right. Who wants to start? Who wants to start with their top 5?
You do, Jake.
I do? All right. These are my top 5 in no particular order.
Woo.
The Lorelei signal.
Yay.
You know what's hilarious? I just read as I was wrapping up the TAS series. The winner of the Spock's Brain Award, that lists what they think is the worst episode of a particular series that Star Trek 101 comes up with, was the Lorelei signal.
Yeah,
That's
because they don't
because-
like women being empowered. The fucking.
Well, yeah,
That's exactly what I was about to say.
I give Lorelei signal props just for being
Progressive.
and an interesting.
The women were hot.
Yeah, the women.
Kirk was an idiot hidden a vase.
Yeah, hiding in the vase. I mean, it wasn't good by any means, but this is relative.
Yeah. No, this is
the lowest bar.
This is polishing a turd.
Yeah.
This bar you would trip over. It's that low.
So next on my list is Yesteryear.
Ooh.
For just, I think, having some backstory was cool, adding a little more Spock stuff.
Chris hated Yesteryear.
We got to see the Guardian, but whatever.
With his new voice.
I want to hear if Yesteryear is on Chris's bottom five. This will be interesting.
It was still garbage. More trouble, more tribbles.
Oh no!
I don't know why.
No.
So that big tribble that kept wandering.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because of the big. Yeah, honestly, that's actually what I was thinking of when I wrote it down. I was like, oh, what was that stupid joke about the big tribble? I like that.
That was great.
You'd think I'd learn.
Good delivery.
The slaver weapon.
That one was all right.
That one was okay. I mean, it had this stupid gun. The gun was a cool concept, and just and the practical Joker. Because it was just fucking... I don't even know. It was something.
It was genuinely kind of funny.
Our lists is very, 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 very similar.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah.
It's because you two were the same person.
No, I don't know. The Practical Joker was just... I mean, it was... it's the one episode of this show where I actually had fun watching it.
Yeah.
Not because it was good or well written. It was entertaining.
Kirk's a jerk.
Yes.
Kirk is a jerk.
Kirk is a jerk.
Scotty got pied in the face.
Kirk is a jerk. Gets that.
Eric's horrifying mouth.
No! No!
Oh God! Speaking of uniforms, very briefly, it's something I should have said earlier on. We can then go back to lists. I get that the uniforms shrunk when everyone else was shrinking because the radiation was affecting organic matter, but why were the uniforms shrinking as everyone got younger?
Because the organic matter was de-aging.
Right, but then she just turned back into algae and sluiced off them.
That's true.
That's a good question.
But then you have a bunch of new children, that's horrifying.
I was going to say, because nude children are not acceptable on television.
Why were they forgetting things when they were going backwards in time? That's just fucking dumb.
Except for Spock, who seemed to still remember
Spock
things.
is more mature. He's got a mature mind.
Except for Spock, who could still remember how to be a dick.
Yeah, but it didn't really make sense because, when Robert April was like, "No, I'm the captain."
Yeah, the level of how much they were forgetting seemed to vary.
It wasn't just forgetting shit because you're getting younger or becoming dumber. It was they actually regressed to that point in their knowledge.
Stupid. Anyway, who's next for top 5?
I'll go.
Yay!
So my top 5 in no particular order was More Troubles, More Tribbles, Yesteryear, The Lorelei Signal, The Practical Joker, which I fucking loved. I think Practical Joker is probably my number 1. And the only place where we deviated was Mud's Passion.
Oh, God. No.
And just because, it wasn't a good episode, but I loved, being angry at Chapel. Just what the fuck are you doing?
Dumbass.
Mountains kiss. Please kiss mountains.
And then Spock being like, oh, my darling. It was just so ridiculous. I don't know. But yeah, so I liked all the other... Yeah, he does.
Eric's weird whistle.
It's true, I forgot about that.
Does his mouth do that?
It's a question we'd all like to know.
Did it not come from his mouth?
Was it from his butthole?
Yes.
It's from his third leg.
Oh,
Is that a sound that he makes when he ejaculates?
Yes.
Yes?
When he's on his unstoppable fuck rampage, there's just so much whistling.
Oh, that's the sound of their fuck rampage.
Now I really want to write an episode about Eric's fuck rampage.
Unstoppable fuck rampage.
I'm sorry.
He whistles a tune.
Ames, your 5?
Sure. My 5, I've actually forgotten what one of them is, so you'll have to remind me what one of them is.
Okay.
Number 5, one of our planets is missing, which I know everyone else hated, but that's fine. I liked the cloud monster. The Survivor I liked, with our friend the Vendorian, the tentacled thing.
Yep.
Whooping around. I liked the time trap, actually. The time trap I thought was good. Not good, but good in TAS land.
Yeah.
Good in everything is going in reverse TAS land. Just because it's cool. It's cool being in a pocket of time and space. I wrote down the Eye of the Beholder. Now I've forgotten which one that is.
Oh, that's the one with the slug monsters and Scotty befriending a little
That's
slug.
right. Yes, Scotty befriending a slug was very good to me.
That was on my list until I remembered the Practical Joker.
Okay.
That is definitely 6th or tied for 5th or something. I love
All right,
that.
all right. I like
the
that
elephant slugs were cool.
Yeah, the slug monsters were cute. Being in a menagerie is fun, and then Scotty got to have adventures with his new friend.
Mm-hmm.
And the last in my top 5, I liked the Slaver Weapon too. Slaver Weapon was pretty cool. It had cat creatures that live in a cool world, kind of a thing. So that was fun.
Mine, my top 5. Again, we're talking top in the sense of these'll do, I guess. I also have the Survivor. The zoo is all right. More Tribbles, More Troubles. The Lorelei Signal. Mud's Passion.
Wow.
And the Practical Joker.
A lot of agreement.
Wow.
I think mine were the most different.
Yeah, yours definitely were.
Well, you guys went for the fun aspects. I hate fun. So.
Chris and I shared 3, and Jake and I shared 4.
Damn.
Yeah.
Did I only share? I shared 2, I think, between 2 of you. I didn't share a lot.
Well,
I wonder how close our bottoms will
are.
be.
I feel like they'll be closer, maybe.
I don't know.
I think each of our bottoms is about 3 to 4 feet away from each other.
I'm probably about 2 feet from Chris.
Yeah, 2.5.
Ew.
All right.
Bums.
You want me to do
Yeah,
bottoms?
you're right. Me and Ames are probably like 2 feet.
All right,
as well.
here we go. Again, in no particular order. The serpent tooth fucking thing.
Yep.
Bem.
Yup.
Okay.
The Infinite Vulcan.
Yup.
The
Yep.
Magics of Megas 2.
Yeah.
Yup.
And the Jihad.
Yup.
4 out of 5 again.
Nice.
You guys
See,
are the same person.
Magics of Megas 2 was dumb in a way I was okay with. Like, it was amusingly bad. Like, it wasn't fun. It wasn't...
Magic of Megas 2? You fucking hated Magic of Megas 2.
Yeah, I can't actually believe you're saying this.
Didn't I? Which one's Magics of Megas
That's
2?
one
the
with
one
the
with
devil.
Satan.
The devil, and they go to Puritan time.
Yeah, that one was dumb. But not, like, dumb enough to make my bottom
It
five.
wasn't fun,
Wow.
dumb. That didn't make your bottom 5.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I guess I'm mostly remembering, like, being amused by the shitty animation, I guess. Like, his arms getting stumpy, and Kirk fighting the wind.
I think you're misremembering. 'Cause
I might be.
If I go back and listen to this episode, I'm sure you do the most screaming about it.
I might have. Again, though, this is before a lot of other episodes,
This is before he was hurt by other episodes.
Yeah.
I will say that the Jihad, much like the Eye of the Beholder being my number 6th or tied for 5th, I would say that Jihad is probably pretty close to my bottom as well.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, Magic of Megas 2 wasn't good, but it just... So much came along that was just so much worse.
Okay. I have to hear your bottom 5.
Well,
Are we going in order?
let's go in the same order
Okay,
since
same
I
order.
started.
Fine.
So in this case, the one that I will say last was my least favorite. Infinite Vulcan,
Bad.
which is bad. Ambergris Element,
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
that was just terrible.
fucking bad. How Sharper Than a Serpent's Tooth.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yep.
The Magic of Megas 2.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Bem.
Fucking
bam.
Bam.
Fucking
Bem.
cocksucking piece of shit,
Ugh.
Bem.
I'm Bam. I'm a piece of shit.
God, he was such a piece of
Stick
shit.
it up your
What
ass,
the fuck
Kirk.
was he doing at any goddamn time?
I'm a colony.
We are judging you for your bullshit, Kirk.
I really hope that when
Eat
he
a
went
bag
home,
of dicks, Bem.
like, he was alone in the fucking transporter room with Scotty, so Scotty beamed down everything but his head, and then he put the head in a box, and hid that box under his bed, and gave it just enough food and water to keep it alive, but then tortured him for years.
I think Bem was literally a bag of dicks. Like he was a colony of dicks.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, then he should fucking suck himself up into his own asshole and disappear forever.
Yeah, fuck
I
that.
hated Bem so much.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
You
Okay.
guys want my bottom 5?
Yes.
Yep.
Alright. I have on my bottom 5 How Sharper Than a Serpent's Tooth, which was bullshit.
Yep.
Shocking.
You guys are gonna disagree, but I just fucking hated More Tribbles, More Troubles. I just fucking hated
That's
it.
not a
Oh, I could
surprise.
see not liking it, but hating it seems a bit much.
It's just... As I was looking through the other ones, like a lot of the ideas in TAS didn't end up making my bottom 5 because they weren't like upsetting to me. They were just like, yeah, this is dumb. Yeah, this is also dumb. Yeah, a lot of this is dumb. But More Tribbles, More Troubles was just a fucking children's cartoon show.
Yeah,
And
it's
every-
a little
and-
cynical too.
If it were cynical, I would enjoy it.
It's cynical in that it is just a remember this episode that we did before.
It's like so much humor is now.
Yeah.
You remember the 80s, right?
Let's reboot everything.
I don't remember the 80s.
Neither do I.
Also in my
Definitely
bottom
counting
5, the Jihad, which was dumb, Bem, which was miserable, and the Magics of Megas 2, which was the fucking worst.
Worse than Bem. Huh?
I thought it was worse than Bem, just because the plot was like Bem. Even though it was really, really fucking annoying, it had a plot. The Magics of Megas 2 did not have a plot. It was, let's do fucking shit. Let's not have any point to this fucking episode. Infinite Vulcan just dropped off my list when we watched Sharper Than Serpent's Tooth just now. So, fuck all
That
this.
was pretty bad.
My bottom 5. The counterclock incident.
Yeah.
Oh.
How sharper than a serpent's tooth?
Oh, you hated today.
So much. Fucking Bem. Fuck Bem.
Fuck Bam.
Fuck Bem. Fuck the episode.
Did we all say Bem?
Fuck the character.
Everyone agreed on Bem.
Fuck Bem.
Oh, and Serpent's Tooth, right? Did you say Serpent's
Yep.
Tooth?
Yes, I think we all said Serpent's
Also
Tooth.
Serpent's Tooth. Okay.
The Jihad.
We
Yeah,
also
3 out of 4 I did.
Oh, you
Completely
didn't say Jihad?
nonsensical plot. And Yesteryear.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I know you didn't
I
like
fucking
Yesteryear.
hated
I figured
Yesteryear.
you'd
I
have
still
Yesteryear.
hate Yesteryear. Because in reality, there are episodes that hurt more. But the logic behind it was just no. Just fuck you. Fuck you. None of that made sense. Fuck you. Fuck this series.
The
I'm
silhouette
so
was cute.
fucking glad it's over.
Yeah, so oftentimes I hear people talk about how the animated series is the continuation of the original series. You know,
Yeah.
it's
considering the
con-
fourth and
it-
fifth years of the
the
5-year
mission. Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck that noise. This
No.
is not the same show.
No.
This is nothing, not even related. Because the thing about the original series is there were definitely, as we talked about many times, hit and miss episodes on the original series. But the one thing that the original series never did was insult the audience and insult the audience's intelligence.
I don't know. Assignment Earth kind of did.
Well, okay.
That's barely Star Trek, though.
Exactly. That's right.
But for the
It
most
doesn't
part,
count because it's not Star Trek.
Yeah.
for the most part, it was an intelligent show that, even when it was shitty, it still took itself mostly seriously.
Yeah, it felt like it was trying, at least.
Yeah, this show everything about this show was phoned in.
Yeah.
The stories were garbage. It assumed that the audience was morons, which it was made for children, but so was the original series, right?
I feel like and that's where I question an awful lot is who the fuck was the target audience? Because it's kind of between it. They're like, oh well, we have to appeal to children because it's a Saturday morning cartoon show for children, but we also want to embrace our normal fandom of adults and professors, and that's where TOS had such a diverse fan core that were intelligent audience members who were people who've got degrees in engineering and people at NASA liked the show. I don't see them watching this.
No, this was terrible.
Yeah.
Doing voice, I think a total of 50 different characters other than Scotty.
Jesus.
No.
All of them sounding almost exactly the same.
All the women were either Majel Barrett or Nichelle Nichols.
All of them.
Every so often, George Takei would show up as someone that wasn't Sulu, but it was still painfully obviously George Takei. Wally, buddy, you dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
Oh.
But with that, all that said, I think we can all agree this was a terrible show.
Yep.
But it's over.
Yeah, thank God.
It's over now, and we have, I would say, this is controversial, but I would say that, for me, Star Trek really gets good starting with the movies.
I think that's a fairly commonly held opinion. I don't think you're going to be ruffling many feathers with that.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of purists. There's a lot of people that are like, oh, original series is only series. No, there are.
I believe you, but those people are don't worry.
Well,
I
they're wrong.
love TOS. It's the one I saw the most of as a kid.
Yeah, but it's a different show. I mean, I kind of, there's I've heard, I think we've talked about this before, but I've heard, stories about Roddenberry saying that he wanted to declare the original series non-canon.
Yeah.
After TNG came out. And
Why?
Because
So that TNG could have different ideas?
to make it so that TNG wouldn't have to follow all the rules that TOS set out necessarily. And because I think he also recognized that there were problems with the canon, the Klingons and things like that, and the warp scale and all, all that stuff. And they eventually retconned all of it, or most of it. And all the duplicate Earths and the parallel development and all this stuff that just wouldn't fit in the universe of Star Trek: The Next Generation. If The Next Generation did an episode like Miri, it wouldn't fit. That would not fit the series or the Nazi planet or any of them. The Gangster Planet. So,
but I love Gangster Planet.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in those
Stuart
episodes,
would look good in one of those fedoras.
Oh my God, he would. Actually, we get to see him, don't we? Yeah.
You just do it on the holodeck
right.
instead, where it actually makes sense.
Although at least Nazi Planet and Gangster Planet were cultural contamination,
not parallel development.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, then Roman Planet with Jesus.
Space Jesus.
Space Jesus. But anyway, so the point is, I think like Roddenberry recognized that, and he got talked out of it because they were like, the fans will literally tear you to shreds if you declare the thing that they love to not count. So they didn't.
Well, and plus, all right, so you declare it non-canon because of some of the dodgier elements, but then that means you're also losing all the good shit, and there's a lot of good shit.
Yeah, no, there is.
Prime Directive comes back a lot in TNG.
Yeah, they actually pretend to care a bit more.
They do.
But
granted, I think it's just Kirk doesn't give a shit.
But, I think that original series and animated series, they did not think, when they were making those shows, I really don't think that they were thinking of long-term or even medium-term. They were just, what can we do to tell the story we want to tell this week?
Yeah.
They were trying to keep the franchise alive whilst they were figuring out what's the next thing that will bring this back. Because when conventions got big and syndication got big, and they're like, oh God, we have to do something, and we're not ready to figure out movies because movies are fucking hard. And we're going to discuss movies very soon, and it's going to be fucking hard.
Yeah. So, but then, like I say, I think when we get to the movies, the show actually starts taking itself seriously in a different way than they did with the original series.
Be a little too seriously with the motion picture.
Yeah, exactly. And I actually think that, we'll get to this, but I think that part of the problem with Star Trek V is that Star Trek V is the closest any of the movies get to being an original series episode, I would say.
I'd say it actually comes pretty close to being an animated series episode.
Yes. But it's definitely, it's the of all those movies, it's arguably the most like the original series, even more so than the motion picture, which...
Yeah.
So, but anyway, point being, I'm done with this shit.
Yeah. All I know is I saw a list the other day, and it said that it felt that the worst Star Trek series was Enterprise.
Wrong.
And it's like,
were they even counting the animated series?
It wasn't on the list anywhere.
Okay.
So it was just like, well... Also,
Just because it's so bad, they don't even consider it a series at all.
I also personally find some campy charm with Enterprise. But yeah, no, if you haven't seen the animated series... That's the worst Star Trek series. Full stop.
Yeah. I would say that I do not consider the animated series canon remotely. It can't be. It's impossible to think of this as a canon show if you're someone that takes that very seriously. Because the magic transporter.
Well, except the magic transporter is gonna crop up,
but not in the way.
No, that's
that
true.
It does here, where literally anything bad that happens, I'll just beam them up again.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll just reboot them with
the transporter. They did give us the holodeck.
True.
Yeah.
Granted, the holodeck, I think I said this before.
Yeah, they
wanted it in season 3, but they couldn't.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Onward to bigger and better things.
This has been episode 49 of Star to Steer Her By.
We're done!
It is the end of the animated series. We somehow survived.
Thank God!
That which survived.
I lost a leg.
Oh God, it's like SpongeBob. My leg!
I don't watch SpongeBob. Who the fuck are you? I'm a grown woman.
Well, yes, but it started when we were teenagers, so...
Yeah, dude, that show's been on for 19 years?
Yeah.
We looked it up.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, no, SpongeBob has been on for ages. And ages. And ages.
Anyway, do please find and like our Facebook page, Star to Steer Her By. We are on Twitter and Tumblr as SSHB Podcast. If you have iTunes, please consider giving us a rating and review, and please subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting application. Next week, we are taking a little break. We're doing a little palate cleanser. We're going to give you the only animated Star Trek that isn't shit. We are finally, after ages of talking about it, reviewing the Futurama episode Where No Fan Has Gone Before in our third 10 forward.
Yay!
So please join us for that.
It will be better than all of this, all of our top fives combined.
Yeah, story's better, the animation's better.
Oh my god.
Walter
yeah.
Koenig's in it.
True, although sadly,
No
Doohan
James
and DeForest Kelly are not.
For different reasons.
Too bad. But
Why wasn't DeForest Kelly in it?
Oh, honey,
We'll talk
I'll
about it
tell you
later.
next week.
Okay.
hadn't he just already passed away by then?
Yes.
Well, I thought James Doohan was also passed away. I thought
Not
he
in
wasn't
2002.
Oh.
Well, on that note.
It got weird and sad.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, God.
Bones dies.
I forgot he wasn't in it. Like, I just straight up forgot he wasn't in it.
The character is in it, but
Yeah,
they
he's
don't-
there.
He doesn't have
He
any
doesn't talk.
lines.
I think he can, punches Fry at some point. Anyway, for A Star to Steer Her By, this has been Chris.
This has been AIM.
This has been Caitlin.
And this is always Jake.
Thank you very much for listening.
Be sure to tip your yeoman.
What did you just
What
do?
is the cat
He
doing
watched
behind me?
the cat do it. He pulled this blanket off of a chair,
And run away from
and
it.
it fell down on him. And then he ran away, and now he's going back to.
Like, at first he was trying to sort of tunnel into them, but that didn't work.
Aw. Well, now he can sit on it, and he's
Yeah.
fine. Good job, Whitey.
Oh, God. Good cat.
What an idiot.
Ooh.
He's
Yeah.
lucky he's pretty.